All right, guys. Surprise. Boys Dynasty
What's up, gang?
League review. Sam and I are here to start the league on fire. We are 5 weeks into year six. Is it not? Is it not year six? I was just counting today.
We started it during COVID, right? So
I think there's been
20,
five champions
21. Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is the sixth year.
because you and I have both won. Simon's won, Brumwell's has won, and Nathan won. So I think we're at started year six.
I think you're right.
So we are into year six right now, and Sam and I are going to hop on here. We're going to go through, look at the state of the league at the moment, and give a little evaluation, not just of this season, but total overall. The good news for us tonight is that we're hopping on during the halftime of the Sunday night game, which means that we have a pretty good picture of the games this week. Most likely, I'm going to beat Brummels in what was a massive shootout. For a second there, I thought we were going to both be the highest scoring team in the league.
You guys were hovering on that 160 mark for what seemed like a moment of the afternoon. Yeah.
Then Simon kind of pulled away here. Some Jamar Chase garbage time really clutched up for him in this one. He's going to take down 4-0 Sammy P. Then, in no surprise to anybody at all who knows ball, Caden is going to beat Nathan Metzler. The people are not surprised by this. We're going to hop into that in a little bit here. And then we've got Sam most likely going to lose to Joe. However, Josh Allen could have a crazy second half. And Xavier Worthy is questionable tomorrow. So we'll see exactly what that looks like for Joe. And then Mike Weaver taking the L to the man himself, Berg. And honestly, I don't even know where we hop into this. Well, the bottom of Berg's roster, Kyron, David Montgomery, Sam Darnold, probably by themselves would have outscored Mike this week.
I do think that's correct. Yes.
Very close there. So the league's at a very interesting place right now. Sammy P was the only undefeated team. No more. So there's no undefeated teams. Mike is the only team without a win. That will remain.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want to hop in here first? Because there's a lot to digest, even though we're only 5 weeks into the season right now.
Well, it's not surprising that Sam's taking the loss. I mean, if you look at his starters here, he's got the stud Ray Davis and Samaje Perine in the starting.
Yeah, Ray Davis. He did get he did take an L with no Bucky and the Josh Jacobs bye and the Ricky Pearsall injury.
And DJ Moore on bye. It's not surprising. This is a scheduled loss for Sam. This roster is one of the quicker flips in my recent Dynasty memory. I mean, it's remarkable.
Yeah, 4-0 here is pretty crazy.
And when did Ethan leave this team? Off season of between 23 and 24, a year and a half
ago.
Or
so something? I think Sam's drafted twice now.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I think because he drafted Caleb. Yeah, Sam drafted
Caleb, Bo Nix, Bucky Irving.
Yep. So he took over in 24, and last year he didn't, and he did not have his first in the 25 draft this year.
Yes, correct.
So this is a very impressive flip.
It is. I don't see he maybe losing or lacking a little bit on the depth side of things, but not horrifically.
Not
there's some pretty easy moves to make that he could get right back in the picture there. So very competitive.
Simon getting to 3-2, looking to try to defend the championship. He's most in points for and points against this year, which is a very interesting spot.
Between him and Berg, the one seed's lock again. I think you have to kind of consider him almost the favorite just because of how many more points he's put up than Berg. Berg's going to run into some variance with the points against, I think, eventually.
Yes, definitely. And Simon still going to be the favorite. He's putting up pretty big numbers every week. The one thing is that I don't think rest of season Jamar Chase is going to be putting up 29 a game.
Yeah,
That's
correct.
that really was some garbage time touchdowns today.
There was nothing going on there for a while. Yeah.
And he did lose Joe Burrow. He also lost Malik Neighbors,
Mm-hmm.
which is a bummer for this season. But he also had Drake London and Bijan Robinson on bye. So he's putting up about 200 points with those guys on bye.
Yeah. The team's
So
fine. There's no concerns here.
no concerns in the team, but we have seen with the 2 losses that there is just some variance for what could happen down the stretch. On the flip side, I mean, you and Sammy, I feel like you got to be feeling pretty good about your position.
I'm fine. As long as
right now.
It really is just. I mean, probably the more interesting conversation here is Joe moving to 3-2 and being in a position where I think he was behind Nathan by about 32 points as of coming into this week.
Yep.
He will outscore Nathan by about 23 points.
But he'll get the win too.
Yeah, he gets the win too. So he'll move into a playoff slot. I have some insider information that Joe is now apparently wavering on whether he wants to compete this year or blow it up. So I'm curious.
Look at that. That's interesting because I think that you moved to 3-2. If you hit on Daniel Jones in the draft or like for your team this year, I think you got to try to compete.
Yeah. I mean, the team he's putting up, I mean, he's competitive.
Yes.
The starting roster doesn't frankly have a ton of holes.
No, not really. Now that Omarian's kind of taken off, although he did get a little banged up today.
He did, and I think Kyler did too. I didn't see the replay.
Yeah, he did.
But yes, injuries can level this thing in a hurry. But he also inexplicably has Michael Penix on the taxi squad. Did you see that?
Yep, he just keeps him tucked down there just in case.
Crazy roster management from Joe.
Very insane. I pointed it out week 1. I was like, is this guy going to take Michael Penix off of the taxi squad? Has not done it.
Joe, I don't know if you know this, Joe, but there are things called buys where quarterbacks you have to play a different one besides Jones and Kyler there. So.
Especially because he also lost Joe Flacco, so he's got no Joe Flacco now.
He does not have QB3.
All right. Well, I think from a playoff perspective, you're feeling very good, barring injuries. Sam Peterson also got to be feeling very good. I mean, you're going to move to 4-1, but you're feeling great playoff spot wise.
Sure.
Then, yes, I do agree that Alex and Simon have pretty much got the top 2 spots over there unlocked. So then it really comes down to a couple of the interesting teams, which is, I think, really what we want to get into today. Is we've got quite a few interesting teams fighting for the space between tanking, between rebuilding, between being bad, and between making a playoff spot.
Right.
So we've got this great battle between Joe, Nathan, and Caden for a playoff spot. And then on the flip side, me, Brummels, and I think that's it. Mike's not making the playoffs this year. So me and Brummels fighting for the last playoff spot in the Canes division. And then Nathan, Joe, and Caden all fighting for the last spot in the Chick-fil-A division. Now, here's why this is interesting. We have got self-proclaimed tanker Caden sitting out here at 2-3 after this week. He's going to win this week, okay?
Looks like it.
He's still got Kareem Hunt to play. He's still got Travis Etienne to play. He's probably – I mean, he's only down 12 points right now. He's got, playing against Diggs for the second half. But you feel like it's a real shot that he wins that game, which really does put him into playoff conversations at week 5, halfway through the season almost. And this is the man trying to tank at the moment. Self-described at the draft saying, I'm blowing it up. I'm rebuilding. I'm tanking.
I'm curious. How many trades has Caden made this year? What do you think?
Oh, it's got to be at least probably 3, maybe 2.
Let's see here.
I mean, I'll have to look back. I know he made a couple, I think, towards the draft, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. I think around the draft. I mean, I know he traded some picks and things like that.
Let's see. Just look at trades. Oh, wow. Okay, so 10. Wait, not 10. 3. Okay, wow, I was so close. On
3.
3. So he traded some picks with me. He traded Austin Eckler and a third for a second. And then he traded David Montgomery for a second and a fourth.
Okay. That was around the
So, 4 rebuilding trades, basically freaking nothing. That's from a rebuilding perspective, he's basically traded nothing.
Yeah,
now,
I mean, especially for meaningful, I think the most important thing of tanking is getting the higher pick, and that hasn't really meaningful. That is not attributed much to his points, max points for significantly.
Let me tell you something. The highest pick is not the most important thing for Caden. Caden has got Tua Tagovailoa. That's fine. Whatever. You got Cam Scatterbo, Justin Jefferson, Chris Olave, T.J. Hawkinson, Michael Pittman in the lineup every single week. Now, he does not have a second quarterback, so he's lucky there. He's got 0 additional future firsts in any year at any time. None of them. He's got a couple extra future seconds. What do you think when it comes to these kind of middle floating teams here, fighting for that playoff spot, fighting for the picks? What are your thoughts on where each team is at right now?
I think the first caveat is 10-team leagues are more challenging to move a bunch of firsts around. It seems like, especially in this one, the trade activity is significantly less than other leagues with some of the same guys in it. I think there are some leagues that you and I are in together, or Brummels and I are in together, that picks and things fly around like it's nothing.
Yeah.
This is not one of those leagues. So I think that, I mean, I have 3 firsts. Who else has firsts? You have a bunch of firsts in 27.
Correct. Not this
Bird
year.
has nothing.
Simon's got no first for 2 years, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. Joe has his own. So it becomes more of you need to find buyers at the right time. And I think that's probably what Caden has been struggling with at this point. But I think he's not doing himself favors activity wise is my real guess. If you accidentally float into a playoff spot, that's probably the worst thing you can do for the team.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the worst thing he could do for the team.
Yeah.
The reality is that I do still feel like Nathan's going to end up pulling the playoff spot out. Although it could be close to him and Joe.
If you had to bet, yeah, I would agree. Even with a loss this week and a Joe win,
it's still very close. But you just look at kind of he's got Jalen Hurts, huge quarterback there. He's got depth with Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff and Dak Prescott if he needed to. I mean, he's got so many quarterbacks.
Right.
Now the thing is that there's not a ton of depth on the team outside of those spots.
Right.
So the door is open, but I do still think you have to lean him.
Yeah, I would agree. Especially because Joe doesn't have any significantly more than Nathan does, especially given the injury conversation.
I don't think you feel like there's definitely a spot with Joe where you feel like he's got the huge chance. But he does have a couple picks that he could move around, that he could make something happen with. His first next year, that if he needed to, he could try to do something.
Right.
He's got Michael Penix in the taxi squad spot still, if he needs to. Exactly. So that's a very interesting one. When it comes to me versus Brummels, that's 2 teams I think are much closer of who will get the playoff spot between me and Brummels. Because Brummels is a team who, for the past couple of years, has done, in my opinion, exactly what Caden's doing right now, which is not made moves, not torn it down, and hovered in that I'm going to make the playoffs. No, I'm not going to make the playoff spot.
Right.
And so the team is lacking a little bit of something. He's getting a really nice Quentin Johnston year.
Yes.
But he's got Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman in the lineup.
I'm having a really hard time evaluating Brummel's team historically because I can't tell if it's hidden genius or if it's a refusal to trade. It's one of the two. He just got lucky. I don't know.
I think it's a refusal to trade because the thing is that he does have Brock Bowers, which is very nice, but he got a huge CJ Stroud week this week. I mean, that's a massive CJ Stroud week.
Seriously.
And you're seeing this week, there's just nothing on the bench that you ever feel good about having in the starting lineup, basically.
Right.
And for me on the flip side, I've got a little bit of the underperforming issue with Brian Thomas Jr. and Nico Collins, but Nico's figuring it out right now. I'm not really concerned about that. BTJ, we'll see. But I got Travis Hunter and Chuba Hubbard on the bench who aren't doing great, but I feel better starting them.
Right.
So it does feel like it's a really interesting spot between me and Bromos. One of us will get this playoff spot.
I kind of think that injuries will be the main difference here. Whoever's team lasts the longest that way, because I don't think there's a ton of distinguishing depth pieces that are going to change that picture that much.
No. So. All right. Well, let's go in and do power rankings here. And now in a Dynasty League, you can't do power rankings by just looking at this year and saying who's the best team, because some teams are trying to be bad. We're going to do power rankings 10-1 on which team you would rather have right now. Which team would be the team that you'd like, hey, I would want that team, Dynasty, the value, everything like that. Let's start it off with 10. This is a close one. This is a toss-up for me. But for me at 10, I'm leaning Mike.
Yep, I would lean Mike, but it's not by a significant margin. I think that you can easily flip this if you were to liquidate a few of these guys, even getting in multiple seconds and moving in pick upgrades and things like that. I don't think it would be that challenging to vastly improve the future capital.
Yeah. Now, one of the reasons why it is super tough for me is that he definitely is going to get – I think he's going to get the 101. Unless Caden does something, I think Mike's got the 101. He's got my first two.
I think that his max BF is like 100 points less than Caden is right now.
Yeah. The tough part is that or the nice part for him is he's got my pick, which could be a playoff pick. It could be not a playoff pick. And for him, if in this league, it's so nice because if you don't make the playoffs, that's a top 5 pick. So it's a very nice spot for him to be in with that. The biggest thing for me is that he does not have his 27 first. And I think that this is more than a 1-year flip for him.
Yeah, it very well could be. Did he trade that for Cam Ward? Was that what that was?
Yeah, for the Cam Ward trade.
Which, I mean, in process isn't that terrible. But
yeah,
hopefully that is not a 101 to 104.
Yeah.
In 27.
I think the tough part for him is that some of the guys on his roster you kind of want to flip and you kind of want to move. But at the same time, every time you do that, I think it makes it a little bit harder for you to have next year be a competing year. And without your 27 first, just gets into a tough spot. So that's where I would lean 10. At 9.
I'm curious for you to say. My 9 is Caden.
My 9 is also Caden.
Okay.
For the same reason. Well, it is okay, but here's the thing. It's actually close between Caden and Joe. Here's why I lean Caden with you. Joe's got so much quality on the roster right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hampton's looking good. Marv's looking decent.
Right.
Tyler Warren's looking good. I think his team is better this year. And I think if he needed to, he could make it a nice little playoff team here. Caden, I think, is definitely – I think he's got to be my 9 because you're talking about how it's not that easy to move picks in this league. I think it's almost even more difficult to move quarterbacks 4 picks in this league.
Yeah, right.
Specifically when your quarterback is Tua, because I don't think anybody wants Tua right now.
Right.
I don't think there's anybody in the league that wants Tua. And so I don't really know what you do with that because then he's just kind of dying on your roster, but dying with points on your roster.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
at
a certain point, do you liquidate for anything you possibly can? No one wants the statue pocket passer, especially when it's only 10 teams. But
Well,
It becomes a question.
if you ask me about my tanking, my tanking advice is at some point you liquidate anything for a pick.
Yeah.
That's if I look back at some of the trades that I did was tanking and rebuilding, I probably did not get max value, but you liquidate for everything.
Right.
Same thing with Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry is a depreciating asset, he should have had Derrick Henry off his roster before the draft, and 100% with no excuse after week 1, Derrick Henry should have been off that roster for anything. Same thing. I'm liquidating him for anything. After the 23-point game you get week 1 against the Bills, that man's off my team.
I mean,
And
it's
so
probably the right
now
process. Yeah, if he can get something.
he's got Derrick Henry depreciating again because now Derrick Henry's not scoring any points.
Right. Yeah, if Lamar misses any extended time, the price is falling to the floor here.
He's got Cam Scatterbo, which is nice.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. He's got Justin Jefferson and Chris Olave, but that's really it. And if he doesn't do anything, which at the moment it seems like he's not going to do anything, his team's going to fall right into the middle, right in that borderline playoff spot. He's not going to have a top 3 pick, and he is not going to have additional picks. So I think that he has a chance to kind of work out a nice rebuild here, but I'm going to go Caden at 9.
Makes sense.
But I will say that I don't think there's any substantially terrible teams right now.
No, it's not as big of a gap as in other leagues, for sure.
No.
And that partially because it's a 10-teamer, but also the teams haven't been run into the ground,
Correct.
Which is good.
At 8, I'm going to go with Joe at 8.
All right, but I concur with that statement.
Same thing as Mike just doesn't have the 27 first. That's kind of a bummer because I don't feel like you're feeling great about the team right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would disagree with that. The nice thing here for Joe is there are some substantial pieces that you could move. I mean, people would pay
very
a lot
nice
for Hampton. I think Hall's price is recovered. I think Harrison is, you're probably going to get out for what you got in at or around that.
Yeah. And Tyler Warren again, that's a really nice one.
Oh yeah, people will pay a lot for him.
So he's got the flexibility. I think he actually is in a spot where he can think about competing.
Yeah.
Caden can't think about competing. His team would never be able to compete this year. Joe's actually really could compete with Nathan, I think. And so that's an interesting spot for him to be in.
Right. It is. Who's your 7?
7 is interesting.
It is very interesting to me.
I think at 7 though, I'm going Nathan.
Okay. I see that. The question for me here is how much you value the current versus the future. Berg's mortgaged a lot. Berg has a great starting lineup.
Berg has mortgaged a lot.
He's mortgaged a lot. He's definitely mortgaged a lot. And if a couple things go wrong for him, he's in the. So for me, it's between Nathan and Berg. That's what I'm trying to say here. I guess.
Yeah, I think I lead Nathan because of this. He also does not have his 27 first. Okay, which I know that Berg also doesn't have that, but no 27 first. The problem there is that specifically for me at the running back position, okay, he's got Alvin Kamara, who's not looking great this year.
Right.
Then he's got Jordan Mason and Chase Brown, who's also not doing great this year. But then that's really it.
He's got Witchbinger on his IR. He's got Jones.
Aaron Jones.
But then you enter in the question of, are you going to start 2 Vikings running backs with McCarthy at quarterback in 2 weeks?
I'm not 100% sure what that backfield is going to look like once Jones comes back.
Right.
So I think that, again, this is another one where this middle section is very close to me. I lean Nathan at 7, and I could see Berg at 7. I would say that they're probably 7 and 6 for me.
That makes sense. That's where I'm at too on these.
But I think that if you can win this year, then I feel pretty good about your team. Because if you get the win, then I think that it doesn't really matter about the future specifically.
Nice.
And I think that Berg being in the better spot to win right now, I might even not put Berg at 6, actually.
Okay. Who would be your 5? Or who
I
would
would
be
go
your 6?
Brummels at 6. I would go
Oh,
Brummels 6.
interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll disagree with you on this one then.
It's super close. It's super, super close. For me, I think the winning this year makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes sense.
I think that that's the biggest thing for me, that if you win this year, it's a huge difference. Brummels does have his picks in the next 2 years, but again, with Barkley and Gibbs and Herbert and Odunze and Waddle
Right.
and Kyron, uh, I definitely agree that there are things that if there's some things that go wrong, it's going very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. No, I'm gonna you're right. Now you're talking me into it. I'm gonna go Berg at 6 and then
Brummels at 5.
Brummels 5.
Okay. That's exactly where I'm at. It's exactly where
Yeah,
I'm at.
because you are right. If something goes wrong for Berg this year, it's a bad situation.
And I don't think it will. He looks great, but if all the dominoes fall, everyone gets injured, then he's screwed. But
I think the problem is for him,
problem for Brummels,
you need to win.
The only problem for Brummels is that I don't know if he has a QB3. He doesn't have Mac Jones. He doesn't have the starting
and that's a
quarterback
tough
for the Niners.
spot.
That is tough.
We gotta start a conversation there.
Yeah.
Legitimately, probably the Bengals should trade for Brock Purdy at this point as their backup to.
I think so. To be backup for Browning, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to be backup for Browning. I mean, you really got to think about the fact that if CJ Stroud does not drop 40 points for the first time in maybe his career, you're feeling pretty tough about that.
He had a great game today, but that was very good.
My final thing on this is that I think Berg needs to win in the next 2 years, or you're feeling pretty tough there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
My next one will be Sammy P. Are you agree with that?
Let me take another check here. Got the future picks, which I do feel great about. But yeah, I lean Sammy P.
I don't think there's that much more to say about this either. I think he's got like a lot of great young quality depth, and I think he doesn't trade his picks, which is somewhat unlike Sammy Peterson, to be honest. So props to you, Sam.
Yeah, it's true.
You often send the house, but you've done well here. I think this team is solid enough to always be in playoff hunt for a long time.
Yeah, and he really could send a lot. Like he really could send some picks to shore up some stuff.
Yep.
But I think that's. Yeah, I think I agree.
All right. We've got all the 7 accounted for, right? Now there's top 3.
Yeah, now it's top 3 because we got Nathan, we got Joe, we got Caden, we got Sam.
Yeah.
We got Mike, Brummels, and Berg. So now it's you, me, and Simon.
My 2 and 3 are between me and you. Okay. I kind of lean towards you in the 2 spot, me in the 3 spot, because of the amount
of
27s you've got.
Yeah, you definitely have a very nice accumulation of picks.
It's nothing to be scoffed at, for sure.
Nothing to be scoffed at, for sure. You've got CeeDee Lamb, which you feel really good about, too.
Right.
I think I would also lean that same way, because I think comparatively you get the picks, but I also would kind of prefer some of my starters.
Yes, I would agree. I mean, my team has always been, as soon as I got Lamar, it was literally Josh Allen, Lamar, and one really good receiver, and that's really, I mean, Garrett Wilson's good.
Yeah.
It's CeeDee and the some other wide receiver too. That's really about it. It's been the RB2 game and a bunch of junk for a long time.
But I mean, it's when you chip, it worked a little bit.
It does. It is effective.
So yeah, I would lean you at 3, and then I'd go me at 2.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, none of you guys are going anywhere. It's so nice to have.
No, I feel really good about pretty much Emeka has been so nice for me.
Our Lord and Savior,
Emeka Egbuka, baby.
And the great white hope, Jackson Dart too. Oh.
The Jackson Dart, 2nd round pick, by the way, in this league.
Yeah,
yes, 2nd round pick, Jackson Dart.
That doesn't surprise me in this league.
No, 202. I'm slightly nervous. I really need to make the playoffs this year. I traded my first thinking that I would make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
And I'm okay if I don't win. Like, I didn't expect me to be a top 2 team, but
Right.
I expected to be a playoff team, and so I hope I can do that, and then I don't feel bummed at all. But the 27 picks are really where it's at for me
Yeah.
because I got Joe's and Mike's specifically.
I think those are going to be say hello to Ryan Williams.
And if anything goes wrong, I've also got Bergs.
Yeah, right. There's variance involved here, of course.
There's variance involved. So
yeah, that's a nice place to sit. I mean, you sneakily got the second most points against this year. You've been getting lit up.
Dude, I've literally lost to the highest scoring team for 3 weeks in a row.
And that's not to say Brummels is not a solid team. He is, but it's a more shaky playoff picture than it maybe looks at first glance.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be 2-3, so it's Brummels, so it'll be interesting.
And I also feel like BTJ and Nico are figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tet still hasn't scored a touchdown this year yet.
Right.
So I'm still feeling okay there.
Yep.
All right, which brings us to number 1. We've got Simon. Simon's been number 1 for a while.
I don't think it's changed.
Will we see our first back-to-back? The only thing for Simon is that he has mortgaged a lot of the picks.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't have his pick for 2 years, which if your team is this good, not the end of the world.
Right.
He's got 127 first from Nathan, but I mean, so many stars on this team.
Yeah. I mean, there's really not. I mean, if you have five starters get injured, this is one of the few teams that could weather it and be pretty much fine.
Yeah. So there is, I think that this team will start to definitely shift the next year or two, specifically with what happens with this running back situation here as Christian McCaffrey gets older, as Ken Walker, unfortunately, is in a split backfield, even though he's so much better than Zach Charbonnet.
So much better.
And then he does still have Bijan Robinson. So it's not like the running back room is going anywhere.
No.
The one interesting thing to me about Simon's team is Simon is rostering 5 legitimate quarterbacks.
I think he got scarred. What year was that where he didn't have a starter in the playoffs? He had one starter.
I think it was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago because he won last year. I think he basically lost a year because of that.
I think you're right.
So he's got 5 legitimate starting quarterbacks right now, and he traded for a lot of them too, which is interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because again, like we said, it's not super easy to move quarterbacks in this league. The Jordan Love trade especially was an interesting one to me.
There was a first involved, or at least one.
Dalton Kincaid a first and a second for Love in a second. So not crazy.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, any final notes here as we close this up here?
No, I think this is it's an interesting spot. It's a good time to record one. I didn't do my off-season power rankings or anything like that, but
yeah. Well, I'm excited
in the season where people decide for sure which way to go. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm excited for this week and maybe next week. We should really start to see some movement here.
I agree.
Of what teams do. So we'll see. All right, guys. Well, let us know why your team shouldn't be 9, Caden. Let us know why, your team shouldn't be 10, Mike. And we'll have to do another one of these soon, maybe towards playoff times.
Yeah.
So we'll break down what that picture looks like.
I would agree.
But all right. Peace out.
Rock on.